So today we're going to talk about secondary gain. John Cottrell here from breakthroughleadership.co.uk. Secondary gain is actually a medical term, believe it or not. So today we're just going to explore a little bit about what it is and what it means for you. So secondary gain occurs when the doctors think that the patient is perfectly well, but the patient doesn't think so, or the patient wants to remain ill. Let's say ill as a general term. And what's going on there is what's called secondary gain. And what that means in simple terms is that the patient perceives more benefit from the state of being ill, and whatever illness that is, more benefit in that state than the state of being well. So they tend to stay in that state. So let's imagine someone that's had an accident, they're in a wheelchair, and they find suddenly that they're being pushed around everywhere, they don't have to walk anywhere, every door is open for them, all their meals are made for them, everything is taken care of for them. And after a while, they start to become anxious about the responsibility of taking care of themselves. And they almost get resigned to the idea that actually it's better being taken care of than taking care of themselves. I'm giving you an extreme example to make it easier to understand, but that's often what's happening. So we ask four related questions when trying to get to the bottom of secondary gain. The first one is, and if I can remember them on camera, it's around what will happen if you do this, is the first question. Then what won't happen if you do this. Then what will happen if you don't do this. And what will happen if you don't do this. So we're asking, if you like, these two opposites, trying to uncover what's going on in the mind of that person and helping to bring into their realization that the strategies they're deploying are counterproductive. And if we can release the negative emotions they feel around the change that they need to make, it'll be that much easier for them and they don't need to experience secondary gain. But quite often secondary gain cases have a degree of complexity to them, and particularly almost the more intelligent the person, the more sophisticated is the game of chess that they play, trying to justify staying exactly where they are at the center of their own personal drama, whilst everyone else is running around after them. And so they have this sense of importance, which they seem to value more than the opportunity to get well. And that's quite sad, but I wouldn't say it's that prevalent, but certainly I've come across it a number of times. And I just want you to make sure that isn't you. So if you're experiencing any kind of secondary gain, you've got to ask yourself what's going on, what are the underlying patterns, and get to the emotion behind it, because as soon as we can release that, we can stop that game taking place.